Isn't it ironic how in my latest video with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, I told you guys to stay focused. Stay focused because there's going to be a lot of entertainment, bread and circuses that comes up to distract you from everything that is really going on in the world. And look how things have escalated. Look how things have escalated, and look at the more bread and circuses that they have put out for the masses. We're going to talk about all of this and more, but first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, KarineAlourde Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, if you haven't seen my Cardi B and Nicki Minaj video, you should check it out. It's pinned in the comments, and in that video we talked about what bread and circuses is, which is just how the Roman Empire, as it was crumbling and the people were poverty stricken and they could not eat, the rich was getting richer and the poor was getting poorer, they decided that, hey, if we give them entertainment, they wouldn't notice what we are doing and would have a break. They'll never revolt.
Did you know why Roman emperors sent their people to circuses? In 140 BC, Roman politicians passed laws to keep the votes of their poorer citizens. They did this by offering them cheap food and entertainment. This strategy became the most successful way to gain political power. When the people became restive and began to questioning the emperors or disliked their policies, the emperors sent them to the circus. They constructed giant colosseums, paid high to the participants, and offered them cheap food. They provide them things that held no practical value to keep the people preoccupied and distracted, preventing them from realizing the truth. This practice is summed up in the phrase bread and circuses, originated by the first-century satirical poet Juvenal, who famously quoted, "Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt." If you pay attention, you'll see this same strategy applied today, just the emperors changed into politicians.
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive and when the people are asking questions and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant colosseum and he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated.
This quote goes all the way back to the times of Julius Caesar. Give them bread and circus and they will never revolt. The Colosseum was literally created to distract the people that their empire was collapsing. The same thing is happening in America right now, and if you can't see it, it's because you are so blinded by the media that you just don't know how to see through the lines. It really feels like we are in a late stage empire with America right now. The UK is practically fallen and America is just right behind it. But no one can talk about it or have any idea what's going on because you watch fucking Kardashians or you watch sports. And this quote is exactly why I don't watch the NFL. I don't play video games. I don't watch the NBA because, and before you get heated, this is not to bash anyone that does those things. I just want to bring awareness and hopefully make you guys look at it in a new perspective and be like, oh, well, maybe they're just trying to consume every bit of my life with entertainment so I don't question what's really going on. They will never revolt. Do you guys realize how up the world is right now and how many ways the average civilian, you and me, is just getting completely, we're not doing anything about it. It's because we have entertainment on demand and we have food on demand. We will never revolt, likely, until something crazy happens, but it's already happening. That's the crazy part about it, is we literally have people in office, in power, that are completely corrupt, yet everyone is totally fine because they have the NFL, they have the NBA, they have video games. And there's going to be people in the comments that literally prove exactly my point. So if you see through it, you're a real one.
They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it.
I was explaining to you guys how that was a day before the government shutdown. I did that video. Told you guys the shutdown is coming. They're going to shut down the government. And before they do, they're going to have a lot of bread and circuses. If you're not interested in the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beef, they have other distractions. They have Taylor Swift album that just came out, right? I would be okay if it was just teens that they could easily distract like this. But you got 30, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds hyped up about a Taylor Swift album while we out here dying and can barely afford groceries. And then we also have the Diddy trial that has been used as a major distraction for like 2-3 years now. And the video, the sentencing, everything. I've just been watching the bread and circuses that has been popping up for entertainment, especially in America, because Americans are the ones who really know how to organize and revolt, right? But we're the ones that are kept asleep the most. The world is burning and we are kept asleep the most from entertainment. We have so much freedom. We have so much access to information, but it's so easy to keep us distracted with Beyonce concerts, with Chris Brown concerts, now Taylor Swift, Cardi B going on tour, all this entertainment, new movies coming out, and there's a distraction for everything. And if you haven't seen my social media video where we talk about social media, BBLs, and division, that's all it is. We talk about how they keep us divided, left versus right, to make it a racial issue, a political issue. Because again, that is bread and circuses too, to make us feel like we actually have a choice in anything while these people are doing what they're doing. Oh, guys, I just want my people to wake up and have wisdom. That video is pinned in the comments as well. So I just want to use the same clickbaity, because it's the only way to get y'all to wake up and click on the video. So I'm going to use those shameful tactics. If you don't like it, goodbye, this channel is not for you. I'm going to use these people, these bread and circuses thumbnails and title to get you to click so I can show you what's really going on in the world, and you can share this video with your family and friends to get them to wake up too. Why does it matter, Karine? Because you're always giving doom and gloom? Because this will affect you. This will affect you, and we need to know how to battle some of the things that are coming, how to be prepared for our families, to not be caught off guard, and who to pray for. I'm going to show you step by step why this matters. What is one of the first things that is happening in the world right now? But even if you're atheist, you're not in the body, you are going to be repulsed with what is happening in Nigeria, and no one is talking about it. And that's not just Nigeria. That's happening in India. That's happening in Iran. That's happening even in Israel. Okay, that's happening all over. They are massacring Christians by the droves, and the media is not talking about it. It's not trending on Twitter. People are not losing sleep. We're not praying for our brothers and sisters, and they're begging us for help. They're begging us to help them, but they're being slaughtered. And even now, just recently, you have 3-year-olds, you have babies that are being dashed against stones, and there is no outrage.
In the African nation of Nigeria, millions of Christians are persecuted by Islamic terror groups.
The video from the Father's Day massacre includes graphic images of people being burned alive, families attacked, and homes destroyed in Yelawata, Nigeria.
On this very day, 210 persons were slaughtered in one night, in less than 24 hours.
We've called on the government in Abuja and the president several times to do what governments do, law enforcement. Use the military if you have to, but stop this genocide.
The genocide against Christians in Nigeria has escalated with yet another gruesome killing spree, this time in the Christian-majority southern Kaduna area.
Majority of whom were burned alive in their homes, including a 3-month-old baby and a 3-year-old baby. The body of a 3-month-old baby was also identified, and the search has continued with many more members of the community, many more residents. They poured fuel on the sleeping residents and set the houses on fire.
To guide us, Lord, to see us through, to fight for us, to give us hope in the name of Jesus.
As you can see, this persecution is unheard of. by many in the West, by many here in America. No one knows about this. No one's talking about this. No one cares about this. I believe Bill Burr, I don't recall who it is, but I'm going to find it. He's not even a Christian. He's not even a Christian, and he is appalled. He is shocked at what's going on.
Nigeria, I mean, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Absolutely.
But guess what? We're distracted by a Taylor Swift album. Oh my goodness. And we're distracted by celebrity drama and celebrity gossip. And no one is talking about what's really going on. Because it doesn't make the coins, guys. That's not what makes coins on YouTube. That's very unpopular. Videos like this, well, nobody's going to click on that. And then halfway through the video, they realize what you're talking about. Oh, I really thought this was about the Diddy trial. Let me click to another video. And you get suppressed. So nobody wants to go through that when you got bills to pay in this economy. I understand it. I'm not knocking no one. Because there's a lot of creators like, well, that's our bread and butter. It's a cycle. They keep you in a cycle. They pay you to keep the people asleep. That's what celebrities do. They pay, the system pays the celebrities to keep you asleep. They give the athletes $20 million to keep you asleep. They give the singers millions and millions of dollars to keep you asleep because there has to be an incentive when those people wake up and realize, yo, I see the agenda. The money got to be so good that they can't even speak against the agenda. And unfortunately, that is happening to even content creators. They pay us to keep you guys asleep. If I really want to make coins, I know the type of content to do. And no, not even trying to flex. I'm good at it. I could make coins. I could talk about things to make me coins and keep y'all asleep. I keep y'all asleep. The money is so good. You're like, man, you're taking food out our mouths, telling people not to even engage with this type of content. Because the money is good and they got mortgages. They got kids in school. Some of them have people helping them edit. So they got employers, they got managers, they got parents that are in the nursing homes. They got real bills to pay. They got medical bills, some of them. They can't afford to do this. So I can understand. But this is why I say you gotta stand for something so you don't fall for nothing. And even in financial drought, because that's one way the enemy has been attacking me. He'll give you the financial drought to shut you up and go back to content where I have people in my life that was like, Karine, you need to just go back to talking about what you used to talk about. You used to be popping. Now look at you. That's sad. But that's the truth. So I understand it. The money is good, guys. When you're keeping people asleep, it's good. You don't have problems with paying anything. Yeah, you might have a little problem sleeping at night because you realize I'm feeding into the system. But when you wake up, it's hard to go back to sleep to this stuff. It's hard to be entertained by the same things once your eyes are open. It's like a dog going back to its vomit. You can't. It seems like nonsense. It annoys you to even think about some of these distractions. What's the second thing that's going on right now? All right. We have the government shutdown. We talked about that in the previous video as well. We have the government shutdown and it's affecting a lot of people. I know people with nursing homes right now that you get Medicaid from the government. You get governments that pay for a lot of these elderly, their care. There's some assisted facilities. I told you I used to work in a few assisted facilities with those that have Alzheimer's and dementia. And a lot of them right now for the government shutdown, a lot of them, they worked with the government to pay for these elderly. It's not always family that's paying. A lot of them are under the state care, government care. And this shutdown, they're not giving funds for that. So these facilities are already struggling and underfunded. Now they got to come out of pocket or borrow for the care of the elderly. And these politicians, they're still getting paid. They're doing the shutdown, but they're still getting paid. Y'all not outraged? Why is nobody out? Like, I feel like I'm really in a simulation. It's like we've been pacified. We've been sedated.
So it's your choice. Go back to sleep, metaphorically, or you could stay riveted to incremental developments. This time, it might be wise to pay attention to those incremental developments because they may be more consequential than in previous shutdowns, and here is why. Layoffs could be in the thousands, more if the shutdown drags on.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault. And it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut.
We're ready to negotiate. We have had now 3 months. We've been begging the Republicans to come to the table and negotiate. You know how many negotiations there have been? 0.
So what could be at stake? The EPA, which is having significant furloughs. Department of Education, significant furloughs. But over the next 24 hours, we could potentially see who is actually going to be impacted by those massive layoffs that they're talking about. You heard Caroline Leavitt. It's in the thousands. Right. Thousands of people being laid off because of these reduction in forces as they're taking advantage of wielding executive power in this shutdown. We've already heard from members of Congress, Speaker Johnson saying that they believe the president is given more power during a shutdown. And how much power does the presidency have? They're willing to test out in this shutdown.
Because voter anger can point in either direction as shutdown signs begin popping up at government sites across the country. And ultimately, the president has some flexibility in how a shutdown rolls out.
People at home, they're most concerned about their Social Security checks, what's going to happen with that, and federal workers. President Trump addresses hundreds of U.S. military senior commanders at an in-person meeting at the Marine Corps base. Trump explained the changing of the name of the Defense Department to the War Department.
And, you know, we want war because we want to have no wars, but you have to be there. And, you know, sometimes you have to do it.
Meeting was called by War Secretary Pete Hegseth, who declared an end to, quote, woke culture in the military.
Guys, I really feel like we've been sedated. We have been pacified. We are under substances. There's a wool over our eyes and we're not pulling it because why is no one caring about this? Go on any gossip website right now. They'll never post these things that affect you, everyday people. This firsthand how I'm experiencing with the elderly. And now people are like, man, how are we going to do? Cut costs. You're going to have to cut costs. Where are those people going to go? There's a lot of people right now that are struggling, guys, and they needed the government assistance. It's not welfare queen and this and that. No, it's none of that. There's a lot of people that actually needed the food stamps. There's a lot of people that actually needed the help for their childcare. And they don't care. And we're on what, day 3 of this shutdown?
Wholesale prices for domestic fresh and dry vegetables skyrocketed nearly 40% in July compared to a year ago.
You normally don't see a big move in 1 month that much. I mean, the biggest 1 month move for a summer month since I think 1947. That's a big move. 3 things happening here: weather and drought. So you've got supply issues, worker shortages, and you've got farmers saying that there are fear on some of these farms of deportation. So they're having a hard time getting some of these crops in. And then tariffs on imported vegetables and food. That's something that can make prices rise for domestic as well. So this is producer level. Will it be passed on to the consumer? Unclear yet, but we'll know pretty quickly. These, very thin margins for food items. Yeah. So this means that grocery store chains will have to eat the costs, pun intended, or we'll have to pass it on, and we'll know pretty soon probably.
Right now, 25% of our market is completely missing. That is a 5-alarm fire for our industry.
This is not your ordinary farm crisis. We call it Farmageddon.
Farmers are struggling to find this balance between Trump's tariffs and suffering massive financial losses.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
Escalating trade tensions could make it harder to sell their products abroad.
I never thought I was going to lose this much money this fast.
It's not good for anybody.
Right now, we're kind of being shut out of some of our best markets.
Trying to stretch the dollar out a little longer.
This is probably as bad as we've seen it in well over a decade.
Nothing's moving. Nothing's moving.
It's 1 out of every 3 farms going out of business right now.
I'm not sure how we're going to stay in business. But if we don't change agriculture's direction right now, we're into a world of hurt.
Many of our farm families are going to go out of business.
The longer this drags on, we're gonna lose some farmers.
The president's tariffs
putting farmers out of business.
We'll lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
If they don't do something, it's going to be some farmers that ain't going to be around next year.
So my son will not be the seventh generation.
The heartache of having to decide if I can carry on with the fifth generation farm or the fourth generation farm, and knowing that it lands on me if I don't move forward. That is a lot for a farmer to carry on their shoulders.
This is a little bit unprecedented for me because I've never really seen our country do what it's doing right now.
It's a lot easier on my family farm in my life if it's not as turbulent and it's a little more smooth.
Farm foreclosures are on the rise. Farm suicides are on the rise. Farm bankruptcies are on the rise.
What it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
Fertilizer, fuel, herbicides, machinery, all have gone up.
Said, I've
He's mentioned many times that he loves farmers. Right now, we need to see swift action or we're going to lose a lot of these farmers that the president loves.
The American farmer, especially myself included, is we don't want to eat payments. We want to work. You know, we work the land, we harvest the land, to crop off the land. And the worst thing that we could ever want is a handout.
Trump spends a lot of time talking about how tariffs are going to make us rich. Well, I don't think we should talk about anyone getting rich before we make sure farmers don't go broke.
We want to deliver the message to President Trump and his leadership team that we need trade.
And we need answers from the administration on what they can do to help America's farmers now.
The president's betting the farm on tariffs.
But give the people Taylor Swift. Give the people P. Diddy. Oh yeah, I'm going to use them as clickbait. You're going to see this whole slideshow is them, honey. Keep you entertained with photos. Because that's what you are the problem. I said that in my last video. I got to call out the people. They won't feed us this if we're not entertained by it. It's you. You got to look at yourself first. And I saw a lot of people that said in the comment, hey, since your video, I made the conscious effort to avoid these things. I'm proud of that. Show them with your dollars we're not going to stay asleep anymore. Make popular, like a lot of these creators will talk about these issues, will risk their lives to save it if they're getting support for it. So support them. Support them. Give them your likes. Give them your clicks. Give them your comments. Give them your shares. Donate to them. Because a lot of them got to be independent. They'll talk about it if there's an audience for it. Make it popular to expose the truth again. Make telling the truth popular. Glamorize telling the truth. Glamorize exposure. And we got to start shaming people for baseless, mindless content. Back in my days, you beef with somebody, you go see that person in person. You have your argument in person. I've never seen two grown adults that are mothers sitting online arguing publicly. Just back and forth for days on end. Y'all could find each other's phone numbers. Don't you think they're doing that publicly for a reason? You think Atlantic and Republic Records couldn't put an end to it if their pockets were being drained? There's no backlash. There's no endorsements being dropped because it's planned. Wake up. The beef is planned. Make Atlantic Records pay for it. Make Republic Records pay for it. And not even Taylor Swift is getting in on a beef with Charlie, whatever. Because beef pays. It keeps the people drained of their energy. Focus on what doesn't matter. And these companies, these labels, they're getting money for it. They're monetizing beef and toxicity and demonic energy. And you're putting it in your pocket because why is Nicki going #1 everywhere? It's hard to avoid this. You're seeing the stats everywhere. So she's telling them, oh yeah, I better make me #1. The more toxic she is, the more she's being rewarded for it and going #1. She's being rewarded for her toxicity because being asleep, you get rewarded. Talk to me. You talking about, guys, I want y'all to know, because a lot of people is arguing with me now. I don't think the beef is, nothing is a coincidence in Hollywood. Labels are strict. They will cut you for stuff. If endorsements, there's things they push to get you upset. You can't fall for it. I saw a lot of black people, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, I believe that's her name, said the statement to the other black lady. I don't know these people's names. I really try to avoid that. I really try to avoid the decision. But she called her peer ghetto, ratchet, a black B word, and black women were in an uproar. Black women, y'all better stay inside, mind your business, and stay focused. That lady, Marjorie Taylor, ain't suffered no loss, no consequence, no endorsement drop. It was hypocritical seeing how everyone was reacting to Charlie Kirk. And I said, you know why she didn't suffer anything? Because it was planned. They want a race war. They want you to turn against your white neighbor, your white friends, your white schoolmate. They want the division. So they allow certain things to slide to get you upset. Some cases, even some pew-pew cases where people die. And you're like, wait, why there's no consequences? Why the court just let this slide? Because they want your energy to be invested in this. So you can be marching for the wrong thing. You can be divided. And there's all this stupidity since, 2020 when people were marching. You got white people kneeling to black people, apologizing. All this show like bread and circuses. And I'm watching like, oh my goodness, my people, please do not fall for this. And when I say my people, I'm talking about my people of God, my people of Yahweh. I don't care what your color is. Don't fall for this. I know at least my subscribers are too smart. But if you see someone getting rewarded for stupidity, getting rewarded for toxicity, you got to know it's planned. They will continue to go to number one. Their tweets will stay up. They're not getting banned. They're bringing children. They're talking about murdering children. And they're getting rewarded for it. And you sitting there gullible as could be, feeding and refreshing. Like, they ain't there about to go blind. Jumping from page to page, trying to see who tweeted what. And you don't even know what's going on in the world. And the labels are sitting having a key. The girls are sitting and they're laughing all the way to the bank. All the way to the bank. What Taylor Swift talking about that's going to help you? Taylor Swift is so super. If she took half of her net worth, just half of it. Half of it. You know how many of the world's problems we could solve? What has she done to help you? You're still looking through the couch for quarters. What of substance has she brought to you to help you better your life? What advice is she giving in her songs that's going to make you rich? I'll wait. What are they talking about that's worth supporting with your coins, coming into agreement with your coins? The next thing that's going on, if you guys don't know, it's still bad in France. And it's going to continue to stay bad. They just recently shut down. They closed their Eiffel Tower nationwide because of the strikes. There's still protests. There's still uncertainty. But one of the other things before I show y'all some of the news clips is a South African ambassador to France that was found dead, which we know is not a coincidence. We know it's not a coincidence. And the people know too. What is going on, France?
This Thursday marked the third day of nationwide strikes in France in less than 1 month. Unions once again rallied people across the country to oppose the government's planned budget cuts. Interior Ministry counted 185,000 people at 5 p.m.
In Nantes, Protests unfolded over demands to scrap the budget cuts. Unions are rallying for higher tax on France's wealthy and a reversal of existing state pension policies.
We must continue the fight, even if there are clearly not many of us. We must continue. It costs us a day each time. But hey, that's how democracy normally advances.
To the South African ambassador to France was found dead in Paris, 58-year-old Nati Matetwa.
French police began looking for the ambassador on Monday after his wife said that she'd received a worrying message from him. His phone was last located at 3 p.m. on Monday afternoon near the Bois de Boulogne in western Paris. His body was found on Tuesday after he had fallen 22 stories from the Hyatt Hotel at Port-Maillot, not far from the Arc de Triomphe.
South Africa's ambassador to France, Nati Matetwa, died after falling from a 22nd floor of a luxury hotel in Paris. Ambassador's phone was last tracked in the area on Monday afternoon. However, his body was found a day later near the hotel.
While some fear foul play, others have claimed that he may have taken his own life, connecting the tragic incident to his name recently surfacing at the Madlanga Commission, which is currently probing police corruption.
Nobody's waking up to that. People are barely talking about that. People barely care. People barely care. Unless you in France, they care. France is no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. I love it. It's just Americans. It's just, and I'm an American. I'm a proud American too. Okay? When I say that, I'm here. I live here. What happens here affects me. It affects me. And I know the people. They're people, they're souls. Yeshua died for them too. I love y'all. But I hate how easily distracted we are, how asleep we are. We're looking at Nepal. We're looking at France. We're looking all over the world right now. Nobody else is drinking the Kool-Aid except y'all. Because a lot of y'all are still comfortable. You're still entertaining influencers that are bragging about their wealth to y'all, doing expensive hauls on TikTok, the wealth aesthetic. And they continue to promote it because they're out of touch. The way the world is moving right now, I wouldn't even post a $10 cup of coffee. I wouldn't even post a $10 cup of coffee. That's how out of touch I would feel. That's how out of touch I would feel. Because I'm witnessing people, like I'm in church with them and their kids can't eat. We got to bring people food all the time. Help them out. Like, guys, it's so bad out here. Like, don't be out of touch. If you're watching this and you're blessed and you're fortunate and you can't relate, please understand. Life can change. It can be you at any minute. There's people out here that are working to the bone. They're not lazy. They're working 2 jobs. And it's people with degrees. These are people with degrees. They went to school for this, to teach your kids, to help your kids learn, to be teachers. And they're struggling right now. Their kids can't eat. They can't eat. Inflation is beyond. Prices of everything went up except their salaries. They don't know what to do. You've worked a 12-hour shift all day as a nurse. And instead of coming home to tuck your kids into bed, you got to go and do Uber or DoorDash or Instacart and drive and deliver because you got to make ends meet. These are the stories of the people I'm around. It's not cute out here. And yet, Taylor Swift needs that $11.99 for her album. Nicki needs you to bring her #1 in every country. In Nigeria, I'm disgusted. Y'all got Christians dying in Nigeria, and in Nigeria, y'all making this woman #1. That's your priorities? So they're falling into the bread and circuses too. That's y'all priorities? Making this woman #1? Y'all don't see how demonic this is? Am I in a simulation? Let me calm down, y'all. So the other thing that's been happening is a lot of cyber attacks. Nobody's talking about it. Everything's being cyber attacked. Airports is global. I can't put every news in here. I don't want this video to be 3 hours long. But guys, it's real out here.
9 flights were cancelled at Brussels airport and many others were delayed.
Heathrow Airport is warning of delays because of technical problems with its check-in and boarding systems. The cause hasn't been given, but cyber attacks have caused major issues at other European airports. Berlin Airport said the attackers targeted the check-in system, causing long delays to departures.
Berlin is saying expect delays. I've got a couple of cancellations going in and out of there.
We know that there have been nearly 100 delays at Heathrow, 70 in Brussels, 15 in Berlin.
The travel trouble at 3 airports there after a cyber attack disrupts operations. Olivia Rubin joins us with the latest. Olivia, this is causing a lot of travel headaches. Brussels Airport saying this attack hit the provider whose systems control check-in and boarding. Airports and passengers resorting to manual options as backup. They are, quote, aware of a cyber-related disruption in select airports that is impacting check-in and bag drop.
Secret Service announced that it dismantled a massive telecommunications threat to the city. According to the agency, agents uncovered a cache of electronic devices in multiple locations within a 35-mile radius from the United Nations.
These devices allowed anonymous encrypted communications between potential threat actors and criminal enterprises, enabling criminal organizations to operate undetected.
This sounds like something out of a movie, a technological threat that could target communications across the U.S. Speaking of where we are, tell me about the timing. I mean, this is happening in the middle of the UN. The president of the United States is here in this city. There's extra security. How did we get here in this moment?
If you were to have all of those phones call or text at once in the New York City area, you could bring down, basically just overload the cellular network in New York.
Man, a beer company in Japan got cyber attacked. That's how much, it don't matter. Everybody can get it. A beer company are getting attacked. A lot of governments are getting cyber attacked. Guys, you know why they're using this cyber attack narrative too? Because a lot of people are pushing back against the digital ID. They need to roll out what they need to roll out. So they got to create circumstances to get everybody to agree with what they need to do. They need you to get the digital ID. The only safeguard we're going to have against cyber attacks is if everybody has a digital ID so that no one can hack into any systems or do blah, 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 blah.
They're passing that in the UK right now. In the UK, you need a digital ID to combat, ready for it, illegal immigration. You let the illegal immigrants in on purpose. And now you're using it as a justification for digital ID. It's the best way to control people, and keep them at each other's throats.
The spray came after a tough week for UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who announced his plans for a compulsory digital ID for all Brits.
This government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
So the Prime Minister says we must have digital ID. That's the way we'll stop illegal immigration. Well, think about it. Germany has ID cards, strict ID, and checks. It's made no difference. All that digital ID will be is a means of controlling the population, of telling us what we can and can't do, of fining the innocent. I do not see a single benefit to the government having digital ID other than them controlling what we do, what we spend, and where we go.
If you wanted to crack down on illegal migration, you don't have to get everyone in the United Kingdom to sign up to digital ID. You could, send boats out into the channel, could stop the UK border force acting as the helpmates of the smuggling gangs. And I can say with absolute certainty, it is a distraction. It does nothing to deal with illegal migration.
You know where that digital ID is leading if you read your Bible. It's happening. How can you be atheist and see prophecy happen every day? It's happening. The Bible ain't lie. We see where it's leading. But they need to get you scared first. Just like if there's narratives, I'm not going to speak on this because that's really who you can't talk about here on YouTube. Trust me, I've dealt with it before. But there's a certain group. Right now, they labeled an event that happened where 2 people were stabbed as a T attack. And now they're getting security expeditiously. But the children that's been getting pew-pewed, right? If it's real, you really have children dying every day in America from people just coming into schools with weapons. They're still not securing them. There's no security for them. But this group, 2 people done got stabbed and already. But that same prime minister from that country, of that group, said And he has a social media campaign he's going to roll out to change the narrative. And part of it is create events, create circumstances to gain back the people to shut you up. Nothing is real on these internet streets, guys. Nothing is real. Events you're about to see that's going to shake you and make you emotional. But I can't believe it. They're the ones doing it. It's not real. It's not real. And I know that's uncomfortable to hear. I know. I'm sorry. But it's not real. Nothing, all of this is, the world is literally a stage. Nothing is real. Where's the purpose of this video, Karine? I want you to stop feeding their dollars. That's one. I need you to lock in on your word. If you don't believe, pray that he reveal himself to you. That Yahweh reveals himself to you. Time is short. We're running out of time. Lock in. That's your safeguard. He will not leave his children helpless. Lock in. That, and if you are in the body, are you willing to die for the truth? If that's a no, lock in some more. You're not locked in enough. We have people dying for the truth. They're not denouncing God at all, but you can't even post a Bible verse on your story. You can't even share a Bible verse on your social medias. But there's people dying for the truth. Dying. You're nonchalant about reading the word. Some people in Asian countries, in Japan, and China, and North Korea. You go to North Korea right now, people got to hide their Bibles. They can't read their Bibles. They can't even have a Bible. It's illegal to have a Bible. But you have your Bible for free. You have several in your house, probably 10. That never gets cracked open. That's the purpose. If you're in the body, you're lukewarm. Wake up. You're lukewarm because of bread and circuses. You're distracted. You're boy hungry. You're relationship crazy. You love entertainment too much. You want to go to brunch and eat and go to concerts and party. That's all you care about, looking cute on Instagram. Flexing. You're aesthetic driven. You're not sharing the good news at all. You're sharing your wealth. You're like Hezekiah in the Bible. God did for him. And instead of showing the leaders that came to praise God for what God did for him, Hezekiah showed his wealth instead. But you call yourself a Christian. You're a secret, closeted Christian. And y'all know I hate the word Christian. But let's use it for the sake of everyone watching. You're a closeted Christian. You speak of God behind the scenes. You praise yourself and glorify yourself. You don't glorify him. When does he ever get the glory? Everything you do is in secret. And this reminds me of Daniel. Why I love Daniel so much. Daniel prayed publicly. 2 kings converted under Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar converted under Daniel, and Darius. To the point where King Darius, before Daniel was thrown in the lion's den, fasted for Daniel. He couldn't even eat. He didn't want him to be thrown in that lion's den. It was a plot against Daniel. And he ran out. He said, Daniel, did the God that you serve so faithfully rescue you from them lions? Daniel said, yes, King. My God rescued me because I trusted in him. And the king put out a decree to the world and said, from this day forth, everyone must worship the God of Daniel, for he is the only God. That's how Daniel used his wealth and power, his influence, his clout. That's how he used it. And nations were converted because of one man, Daniel. No wonder God said, Daniel, you are beloved. You are loved. Gabriel came and told Daniel, you are loved. Because Daniel didn't care. He was willing to die. Willing to die. Willing to lose it all. Willing to lose his platform. There's a lot of you guys watching me with platforms, but y'all can't say anything about God because you're scared of the mob. You're scared of losing subscribers. You're scared of offending witches. So you support secretly. I'm sorry, it's the Holy Spirit making me speak. Please do not be offended in me if we are friends. I pray before every video. It is what it is. But it bothers me. I'll get the secret messages. Karine, this was great. This was that. You have a platform. You have millions of people subscribed to you. Acknowledge him publicly. You don't know who you could. For every 5,000 people that unsubscribe, even if it's 100 people that accept and receive the word, there's a reward for you. There's more to life than your bags, than your outfits. There's more to life than your jewelry. People are dying. Do you understand? It's no longer a joke. I can't coddle anybody. Babies are dying, guys. It's not time to be scared. And we all fall short of God's glory. We all fall short of God's glory. We all go through our doubts, uncertainties. I just had one of the most dramatic days of my life yesterday. Crying all day to God. Dramatic. Going through it. Like, how are you going to come through for me? And he did by the end of the day. But I was repulsed by myself. Like, dang, Karine, how quickly you lost faith. Lock in. I'm human. I'm not talking down to anybody, judging anybody. This is someone that was deep in the bread and circuses. Deep in the bread and circuses. Though I get backlash, I love it now. I embrace it. I used to cringe. I used to be scared. I wouldn't refresh the comments because I'm so sensitive. I was so sensitive. Like, oh my goodness, somebody gonna say something's gonna hurt me so bad. Or I'm looking at the numbers going down. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh. God has hardened my forehead like he did Ezekiel. I could care less. I could care less. I wouldn't even open emails because how angry some people were. But now I could care less. God bless you. Sending your energy back to you. I kick the dust off my feet to you. And you've heard the message. I don't care how big or small you could have 20 people following you on Instagram or TikTok. Spread the message. That's what I challenge you to do today. It's real out here. I have a playlist called Prophecies and End Time. We talk about the chaos that's going around globally. Wars everywhere. Water crisis. The global blackout that's coming. We talk about all of that in that playlist. I will pin it in the comments. Beat it across your head. Familiarize yourself with what's happening. And see that the time is short. Pray for our sisters and brothers all over the world that are dying for the truth that we trample on. Pray that others wake up. Tell them when you see somebody posting or entertaining this nonsense, tell them, be under the comments. Tell them what to really talk about. Focus on this. Tell people not to get distracted. Wake people up, guys. Wake people up. Because he is coming like a thief in the night. He's not going to just be sitting watching his people die every day like that. He's giving everybody free will, doing all that. I did a video on that too. Somebody might say, why is he allowing all of this? One, it's prophecy. He'd been told us years ago it would. Thousands of years ago, it would happen. But he also showed us the redemption plan. Stephen in the Bible died being stoned. And God comforted him as he looked up. He saw the heavens open up and Yeshua sitting on the throne coming down in the clouds. And he died in peace, knowing that it's not all in vain. None of his servants died in vain. I did a video on free will already as well. So if you battle with that, whatever the question is that you battle with that is blocking you from testing out Yahweh yourself, I probably did a video for that. Put it in the search or comment your question below. If I don't get to it, the subscribers here are very welcoming. Not only will they answer your question, but find the video for you as well and reply to your comment with it. That's how we do in these comments. It's a ministry we're all involved in. Don't be shy. Don't skip through a comment that you know you can answer, because time is short. I just want to say a huge thank you to all the supporters that have sent Cash Apps and PayPal. I've seen it all. And I just want to say thank you to you guys who understand why a lot of creators are pushing away from Super Thanks and going towards PayPal and Cash App because of how YouTube is doing us behind the scenes with it. I appreciate it, though I cannot send everyone a personal message or personally say thank you. I want to end every video by saying thank you because it really helps to push out content unfiltered to you guys. May the Lord reward you tenfold.